I hate Windows computers. Okay, that's a lie. I'm literally sitting in front of one right now. That being said, I've been using the MacBook Pro 14-inch for the better part of a year now. I love it to the point that I don't really understand why you would buy a Windows laptop anymore. And you guys said that there's a Windows computer that could challenge the MacBook. So here it is. This is the Dell XPS 13-inch. It's really small and light and cute. The only thing I'm concerned about is it not having a dedicated GPU. And I'll be flying with it to Italy to try it out. So, I noticed a couple of problems. Everything went really smoothly, except that there isn't a SD card slot. So basically what I had to do is plug in the SSD and the SD card into my MacBook and transfer all the files to the SSD before actually turning on Resolve and editing in the Dell XPS laptop. Then I turned on the Resolve. It started acting out so weirdly, these lines all over the screen, and I don't know, I'll try it out later, but for now I just want to get this over with, so I'm using the MacBook. I have actually began using DaVinci Resolve as my primary video editing software, even though I've worked with Adobe Premiere for like 7 years, something like that. And DaVinci is way better optimized than Premiere is. However, I should probably just come out and say it that this is definitely not meant for video editors. I've tried editing on this laptop. It either overheats or just crashes entirely, or just is laggy all the time. I absolutely love the design of this laptop, but unfortunately when it comes to video editing, I have to give it a 4 out of 10. Guys, do you remember the touch bar that was on MacBooks like a few years back? And people had various opinions about it, but the majority of them really disliked it because it didn't have a physical escape button. But they fixed it, and to be honest, I wouldn't mind a touch bar on my MacBook in 2023. That leads me to my point. This has like the baby version of that touch bar. If only there were these little grooves or something in between the buttons, I'd be completely fine with that. Right now, every time I want to hit escape or delete or change my brightness, I have to look at my keyboard. However, I opened up this laptop today to do some graphic design. For the first time with this laptop, I'm actually impressed. I have this absolutely ginormous Photoshop file, and it handled like 99% of the edits I did absolutely flawlessly. By the way, I think I like the materials of this keyboard more than my MacBooks. Of course, I've only had it for a couple of days, but it doesn't attract fingerprints like the MacBook does. As you were able to see, I've got my drone out, first time this month, and honestly, I think I've got some good shots. So, to further test the Dell XPS laptop, I went ahead and edited all of those pictures on it. I like the one with like the boat in it and all the water. But when we're talking about anything that involves influencing pixels like photo editing, video color grading, Photoshop and things like that, it's always better to have a bigger display. I'm not necessarily saying that the 13-inch display is too small. Sometimes it would be convenient to have, for example, a 15-inch display. Another thing I would really appreciate if the Dell had is a brighter display. The display is plenty bright for this environment in the middle of the night or just indoors. When it comes to working or just sitting in direct sunlight, I wouldn't see myself doing it with this exact laptop. And probably my favorite thing about this laptop is its invisible trackpad. It kind of blends in with the laptop body itself, and it feels really good when clicking it. Definitely the closest I've seen a Windows laptop's trackpad be to a MacBook's. It's surprising to see how many Windows laptop manufacturers still use the physical, like, bending trackpad. And of course, it's hard to compare a Windows laptop to a MacBook without talking about the Apple ecosystem. Probably not even fair. The most random but very, very important feature to me is being able to copy something on my MacBook and instantly paste it in my iPhone. And it's these little things like that that make or break a product like a laptop. Overall, I actually liked the graphic design and photo editing workflow when using this laptop. So for my rating in this category, I'm giving it a solid 7.5 out of 10. But what if you're someone that only uses your laptop for general tasks, like editing an Excel spreadsheet, writing a document, or watching YouTube videos like this one? And for that, I think it's the absolutely perfect laptop to have. I think the 13-inch form factor is the perfect size for anyone who just wants to get some general tasks out of the way on the go. It's honestly all that I could want from a laptop that I use for those kind of tasks. Of course, I myself have a very different workflow from the one I'm talking about right now, but we can't forget the price. It's a solid amount cheaper than my MacBook, and for what it is, gotta love it. But let's talk specs. This has the 12th generation Intel i7 processor, which is plenty good enough for CPU-related tasks like Photoshop, Lightroom. It doesn't, however, have a dedicated GPU, which means in things like video editing or gaming, you can't expect it to perform well. This specific model right here has 16 gigabytes of DDR4 5200 MHz RAM, more than enough for everyday tasks. As far as storage goes, this has an internal 1 terabyte SSD in it. I don't know if it's only me or you guys have that same problem too. I'm never sure how many gigabytes or terabytes of storage to get. I feel like I could get like 2 terabytes of storage in my laptop and then a year later regret it because somehow I filled it up. So in the final category of general tasks, I give this laptop a solid 9 out of 10. But the main question, who would I recommend this laptop for? And my number one answer would be for those who are very used to Windows and don't want to go and spend like $1,500 on a MacBook Air. I think it's $2,000 for a 1 terabyte version, isn't it? So for now, I'm sticking to my MacBook. But there you go, that's my review of the MacBook of Windows computers. That could be the title. Note that I will be bringing my MacBook. Just in case, I'll probably stick to it for my dear life. I've actually been doing my videos in, but unfortunately I have to give it a 4 out of 10. But that leads me to my point. This has like a baby, and as you were able to see, and as you By the way, it's my third time recording this segment. First time, in the hotel room, I messed up the video quality. Second time, like a few beach segments down there, I messed up the audio. And hopefully everything's alright, and I won't need a fourth one, because it's already like 12. Do you say PM? You probably say PM, right? I should be sleeping.